Could the Lakers be overlooking the perfect role player hiding in plain sight? Or are they wise to resist the temptation of another aging veteran who might look good on paper but fail when the lights shine brightest? What happens when a proven shooter becomes available at a reasonable price, but comes with all the limitations that have haunted championship contenders for years? Tim Hardaway Jr. moves through the league like a reliable specialist off the shelf, a proven shooter, a professional rotation player, and a veteran with enough experience to serve as a luxury bench piece. For the Lakers, who have consistently sought balance between star power and roster depth, Hardaway emerges as a potentially cheap and effective option to close out games, especially when the team desperately needs spacing to complement their interior-focused offensive attack. However, the prevailing narrative from specialized media outlets is that Hardaway frequently appears on Dallas's available lists, a player whose contract could be moved to relieve salary cap pressure or open up rotation spots for younger talent. Sources and market rumors consistently position Hardaway as a name with concrete trade possibilities, largely due to his cost-to-utility ratio and tactical flexibility. This situation makes him a natural candidate for teams that need immediate perimeter shooting without investing high-value draft picks or premium assets. From a practical standpoint, Hardaway offers something both rare and desperately needed: a shooting weapon who can knock down threes off movement, spread the floor effectively, and doesn't require elaborate offensive creation to be productive. In other words, his role is completely plug-and-play, making him incredibly attractive to the Lakers in scenarios where LeBron James and other playmakers need maximum offensive spacing to operate. This kind of low-maintenance, high-impact shooting is exactly what championship teams need from their role players: someone who can step in, do their job efficiently, and not disrupt the established offensive flow. Yet there's a critical counterpoint that cannot be ignored. Hardaway is no longer a young player, and his defensive impact is severely limited. In high-intensity playoff situations where every possession matters and athletic mismatches get exposed, his presence might not hold up against more athletic wings and guards. This defensive liability could become a significant problem when facing elite Western Conference teams that specifically target weaker defenders in crucial moments. The financial considerations add another layer of complexity to this potential acquisition. Some reports indicate that teams are putting Hardaway on the trading block specifically to move salary and create financial flexibility. This means the Lakers would need to carefully evaluate whether they prefer to spend minimal assets on a functional veteran or direct their limited resources toward a higher impact acquisition that could genuinely change their championship trajectory. It's a classic organizational dilemma: solve immediate, specific problems with a safe choice, or swing for fences with a move that could be transformative. Think about Hardaway's specific skill set and how it would fit with the current Lakers roster. His career 35.7% three-point shooting on high volume represents exactly the kind of reliable perimeter threat that would create driving lanes for Luka Doncic and LeBron James. His experience in playoff situations, while not always successful, provides a kind of veteran presence that young teams often lack in crucial moments. He's also a player who understands his role and wouldn't demand touches or disrupt the established hierarchy, a crucial consideration for a team built around multiple ball-dominant stars. However, the Lakers must honestly assess whether Hardaway's contributions would be significant enough to justify the acquisition cost and roster spot. While he's a competent shooter, he's not elite. While he's experienced, he's not a game changer. While he's professional, he's not a culture shifter. In many ways, Hardaway represents the kind of safe, incremental improvement that can help regular season performance, but might not move the needle in playoff situations where margins are razor thin. The age factor is particularly concerning for a Lakers team that already has several aging veterans. At 32 years old, Hardaway is closer to decline than improvement, and his defensive limitations are only likely to become more pronounced as he loses a step athletically. The Lakers need to consider whether adding another older player aligns with their long-term vision or simply compounds existing roster construction challenges. From a tactical perspective, Hardaway's presence would give coach J.J. Redick another reliable option for specific game situations. His ability to space the floor and hit contested shots could be valuable in clutch situations where the Lakers need quick scoring. However, his defensive vulnerabilities would also give opposing coaches a clear target to attack, potentially negating his offensive contributions. the opportunity cost is equally important to consider. Every roster spot and every dollar spent on a player like Hardaway is a resource that can't be used elsewhere. If the Lakers are serious about maximizing their championship window, they need to evaluate whether Hardaway's contributions are significant enough to warrant passing on other potential acquisitions that might have higher upside or better long-term value. Market dynamics also play a role in this decision. If Dallas is actively shopping Hardaway to shed salary, the Lakers might be able to acquire him at a significant discount, making the risk-reward calculation more favorable. However, if multiple teams are interested, the price could rise to a level where his value proposition becomes questionable. The conclusion is both pragmatic and cautious. Tim Hardaway Jr. has the profile to be an effective tactical fit for the Lakers, an experienced shooter who wouldn't demand extra attention or disrupt established roles. However, his utility is limited to supporting functions. He's not a transformative piece who would fundamentally alter the team's championship prospects. If Los Angeles is seeking functional depth without major costs, Hardaway could be a realistic target. If their goal is broad, immediate impact that could define their championship chase, they'll need to look beyond this veteran option. This potential acquisition would be sensible but conservative, the kind of move that helps regular season performance without necessarily elevating playoff ceiling. Sometimes the most practical decisions are also the most limiting ones, and the Lakers must decide whether they're comfortable with incremental improvement or whether they need to take bigger swings to achieve their ultimate goals. Do you think Tim Hardaway Jr. would be a smart, low-risk addition to the Lakers' rotation, or should they aim higher and pursue players with more upside? Would his shooting and experience be valuable enough to offset his defensive limitations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe this represents the kind of pragmatic move that championship teams need to consider, make sure to hit that like button. Sometimes the most important decisions are about knowing when to be conservative and when to be bold.